ultimate goal of marriage and having the dance isn't about being on the same page and being the exact same. It's about an acceptance and a tolerance of each other in our differences so we can work together and find the dance and find what works through those differences. And that's why I've come to and teach that once a week is a reasonable and healthy amount of sex for a married couple to come together and have a dance in those differences as men and women around sex. And this is for the ladies who struggle and are shut down and disengaged to sex or having sex as a should or an obligation or a chore. I want to talk to the women about how to commit to yourself to having sex once a week and your husband, as a good man, getting that benefit. So ladies, as I've talked about before, we have to learn to enjoy sex for ourselves. The reason that sex becomes a chore or an obligation is because we've never learned to have and enjoy sex for ourselves as the experience of a lovely and wonderful experience to have as a human being. And also what sex gives us a context and a mirror into ourselves as women and getting to know the wonderful qualities of ourselves as women, that we are soft, nurturing, lovely, sensual. When we are having sex because we feel that we have to, and it is an obligation and meaning more of a chore to our husbands, and we're disconnected and checked out and disengaged, but making ourselves do it, then that's where we become resentful and live in camp victim in our marriage around sex. So we have to learn that sex is a healthy part of a marriage, and it is a healthy and beautiful experience that we can have of ourselves as women and individuals, so that you're doing it for you. That's the only way to resolve the resentment or it feeling like a chore and a checklist in your marriage. We have to understand this is a very important and intimate way to connect as a couple and to share something together that we can only share with that other person. And it's a very nice experience to have. I often tell women, I've never not been in the mood necessarily to have sex and slowed down and reminded myself, this is a gift I give myself and my husband. And in making that choice to engage and keep to my commitment in my marriage, never have I not been in the mood and made the choice. It's just a simple choice we make to step into that loving, intimate experience of sex with my husband, gotten done and thought, man, I really wish I hadn't done that. It's always like, oh, I'm so glad that I showed up for myself and showed up for my husband. And then I feel connected to myself afterward. I feel connected to my husband and feel good about myself. And it's part of our responsibility in a marriage. Re-engaging and committing to having sex once a week, you want to literally sit down and talk about this as a couple. And to know that yes, having sex and having it come up spontaneously as it did in the beginning of the relationship can be fun, but it's not realistic in a marriage where you have a woman and a man and we're wired so differently, as I talk about. You actually want to sit down and agree and set a time and schedule it so that it is known. And within that, there can be spontaneity and keeping it fresh and new each time so it does not become rote. But when you know the general time and day that works for both of you, and you talk about that and come to an agreement, it takes the guesswork out of it. And this is incredibly important when you are married to a good man who you have been withholding sex or rejecting his advances to initiate sex. that creates a fear and intimidation, a unknown for a good man of they're not mind readers, as I talk about. It takes the guesswork out of them. If is she going to be in the mood if I initiate? Is she going to reject me again? So when you have a general day and time that you agree to, then it's known. And this is when we connect in this way as a couple. And if something comes up, you go on a trip or someone is sick and under the weather or has the flu, then don't just wait another week until that general scheduled time that you have together. It's just, that's life. Things come up. Then you want to pick another day. Okay, it didn't work for us today, but hey, can we get up a little early on this day? Or can we make sure, we get the kids to bed a little early on this night and come together so you're not skipping a week? Because what that tells your husband, if something comes up and the time that you've agreed to doesn't work and then you just ignore it, you're sending the message to your husband that this isn't important to you. And you're doing it as a checklist and feeling kind of like, all right, didn't have to this week. He feels that. So you want to take the initiative and step up to the plate to say, okay, it didn't work out for us tonight. So when's another day this week that we can commit to? And you go in having it be fresh and new, not doing it as a checklist, by knowing this is a gift you give yourself and something that you do for yourself, and your husband gets the benefit, your marriage gets the benefit. So it's a commitment you make to yourself and to your husband and the marriage and follow through with, which will make you feel really good about yourself, which is the foundation of what I talk about, having a healthy relationship with yourself and being happy. Here's the thing. It's really this simple. If you want to have sex and enjoy it, this structure will work. And you will follow through. You will make it work. You will look at whatever you need to look at and what comes up in you and your resistance or not wanting to do it. You will work through it and follow through and keep your word. And you and your husband can have a healthy, loving sex life. If you want to have excuses and push it away, you will. And you will continue to have issues, and sex will continue to be the elephant in the room in your marriage. And your husband will suffer, and you won't feel good about yourself, and you won't have a marriage. You will have a roommate situation. Healthy couples have healthy sex lives. It is a healthy part of a marriage and part of the responsibility and commitment we made in getting married. So again, if you want it to work and you want to have sex and enjoy it, you will commit to it and follow through with it, and it can become a non-issue in your marriage. But if you want to push it away, continue to live in your stories and excuses, you will push it away. Again, it will continue to be the problem in the relationship. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the Happiness Program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.